Hey everybody, welcome back. Oh god. It's Thursday. Good morning. I'm driving into the office. It's sort of this back road, kind of winding. I just kind of snailed through. Note to self, on this type of morning, don't take this road because the roads get narrow and it passes by some residential and business spots that keep their garbage carts out right on the side of the road, and when the garbage pickup comes along, everybody kind of has to just kind of wait in line slowly for the garbage dude to make its rounds, and then everybody has to little by little make their way to overtake the garbage truck, and just so that we can keep things moving. So I got my coffee, trying a different angle that I did yesterday on the cam, trying to give the crotch cam a break. I'll actually give you guys a break. I'm getting sick and tired of being between my legs. So here's what else is different. You're not in my crotch today. I've got a different camera angle. I've also got a tall size coffee rather than the grande size coffee. Basically, it's the smaller cup. Previously, I've gotten the medium cup. I rarely get the large cup, which they call venti over there in Starbucks. With a splash of heavy cream. Turn. So guess what? Yesterday I did the recordings with several folks for the podcast, and I reviewed some of the audio. And on my side of the conversation, I sound like Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. And I'm like, okay, that's not cool. And I had to check it out because right after the last call that I had, the last recording with Vinny Tortorich, I clicked off the recording and then I sort of said my parting stuff, offline, and we made plans to connect again next week, but yeah, he made a comment that it sort of got like max headroom throughout the conversation, and it got me thinking about something that I heard before I actually turned on the mics for the day's set of recordings. I did a test, called my cell phone, and did an audio test. And yeah, when I reviewed the audio test, I did have spots where my audio stuttered. So, that kind of thing. Oh my God! But it was intermittent. It wasn't like everything I said was an echo. It was just there were certain spots throughout the audio feed where it would blip and it would cause a repeat of the last thing said. Okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about it. Not too bad. I can clean that up. And what I must have missed too was that in that audio test, I did sound like my end was sped up maybe, 1.5 times, to a point where I sound like Alvin from Alvin. I just sound like a chipmunk. I already sound like a baritone chipmunk with my natural speaking voice, but then I sounded more like an alto, soprano chipmunk with this weird thing with the recording. But again, I sort of let it fly, got my recordings through, call 1, call 2, call 3, done, end of the day. Got a mention from Vinny, like, yeah, it kind of started doing some of the, throughout the conversation, it sounded a certain way. When I finally got home, I just did a sample listening to some of the recording, and sure enough, I am a chipmunk. I am a podcasting chipmunk. Maybe it should be my thing. I should just keep it going. Try not to lean my elbow on the armrest so that there's less camera shake. I apologize. So I Googled, I used Skype and Ecamm call recorder, and I Googled those things as in the search criteria, and the problem that I had encountered, and it's shown up in the past, but like a couple years ago, 3 years ago, where people were having this issue where they were coming across sounding like chipmunks. So yeah, I'm trying to. So it's a known thing. And there has to be some sort of resolution. I tried tinkering with both apps today to see if I can first install an older version where I wasn't encountering this problem before, but that's kind of hard to come across. And I'll keep digging. And I try to just complete reinstalls of the apps, and things still persist. So it may never happen, or it may fix itself with an update somewhere. But in the meantime, I know what I have to do. And this is sort of more behind the scenes things for the audio side of the podcast, and folks who are familiar with working with audios and tracks, you know what I'm talking about. I gotta split the audio recording. I gotta split into 2 tracks. One my guest, one me. And then I need to adjust the playback speed for me so that I don't sound so much like a chipmunk. And then I need to go through the wavelengths and try and clean up parts of where, depending on how severe the stuttering happens, the max headroom effect, I'll have to go in and zoom in on those wavelengths on my track and take those out. So yeah, it's gonna be work to do, but I enjoy it. I just need to get the time to do it, and then get the both ends of the conversation to line up properly so that it makes sense. The back and forth makes sense, because the time frame is going to change. Cutting and pasting. I must have learned something when growing up as a kid to be able to do this stuff. I didn't take any classes. I didn't do any tutorials. I just played with the software, and I'm getting familiar with functionality. So I've got at least 3 hours of information to go through. Even the regular show. So there were 4 recordings. Even the regular show. I gotta see what that's like. If that came across totally, max headroom effect, which it shouldn't, because I didn't go through the Skype and the Ecamm call recorder. I just spoke right through my recorder, so that should be fine. But yeah. Anyways, still look out for those episodes. I'll keep you guys updated. Cool stuff. Ha! I'm back. Not too long. I wasn't gone too long. Why? Because there's a ton of traffic. Oh my God. Good thing my bladder is not full. But it dawned on me. I don't think I've mentioned. I've talked about the podcast, and I've talked about going to iTunes and Google Play Music and all the other places online that pick up on the podcast feed. But you're already on YouTube if you're watching this video. If you're at Ruwal's Running, the Ruwal's Running channel, very recently, my podcast host service, Libsyn, made it possible for whenever I publish an audio podcast, it would also upload as a video the audio portion of the podcast, so that you can catch the actual audio podcast episodes on YouTube. So you can start checking those out. There's at least a couple right now. I'll publish another episode pretty soon for the podcast. It'll make its way into YouTube, and you'll be able to see that one. That would be episode, I want to say 136. So yeah, do that. Thank you very much.